Hello everyone. Today we are going to look at the ensemble theory in the classical mechanics. So essentially we are going to see the classical statistical mechanics, and we start from the free space of a classical system. So what is free space of a classical system? We have already seen macrostate and microstate. Specification of macroscopic parameters of a system is called macrostate, and we saw there are many different ways of realizing a given macrostate, and each of these different ways actually form a microstate. So that is about the macrostate and microstate. Now for a classical system, microstate of the system at any time is defined by specifying the instantaneous position and momenta of all particles in the system. So a state of a particle is specified by its position and momentum. Okay. And position, if we are in 3 dimension, it will have 3 coordinates. Momentum, it also will have 3 coordinates. So 6 coordinates are required for specifying the position and the momentum of a particle. And if there are n particles, capital N particles, the specification of microstate requires specification of 3n position coordinates, q1, q2, q3, q3n, and 3n momentum coordinates, p1, p2, p3n. Okay, so a single particle has 3 position coordinates, and since there are capital N number of particles, we have 3n position coordinates, q1 to q3n, and 3n momentum coordinates, p1 to p3n. Okay, and geometrically, the set of coordinates qi, pi, where I is equal to 1 to 3n, 3n position coordinates and 3n momentum coordinates, that can be regarded as a point in a 6n dimensional space. Okay, so we are imagining a 6n dimensional space. Okay, and this space is the free space. Okay, so state of the system, the microstate of the system, we are talking about microstate of the system, that is actually defined in a 6n dimensional space, and that space is the free space, and a point in this free space gives you the state of the system, microstate of the system, and that point is called representative point. Okay, representative point. So we refer to the space as free space, and phase point, a point in this phase space, the phase point qi, pi, is the representative point of the given system. So we may conveniently represent this 6n dimensional space like this, because it is not at all possible to draw a 6n dimensional space where n is very large. So we symbolically represent this 6n dimensional space like this. Here we have a square bracket, q inside the square bracket. This actually denotes the 3n position coordinates. We know qi, I changes from 1 to 3n for capital N number of particles, and this q actually denotes these 3n position coordinates, and this p put inside the square bracket, that represents 3n momentum coordinates. So this is actually a representation of 6n dimensional space. Okay, this is not a 2-dimensional one. This is shown for our convenience. This is actually a 6n dimensional space, and this is called free space. The point in this free space is actually a phase point, or it is also called a representative point, that represents the micro state of the system. Okay, so we saw phase space, which is a 6-dimensional space, and then we saw a representative point or phase point, that is a point, okay, point in this phase space, which has 6n coordinates, and it shows the state of the system at a given instant. Now this Qi and Pi, they actually continuously vary with respect to time. Okay, they vary with respect to time, and their variation in time is represented by Qi dot equal to dou h by dou Pi, Pi dot equal to minus dou h by dou Qi, where I changes from 1 to 3n. Okay, Qi changes, I changes from 1 to 3n, Pi dot, Qi dot, Pi dot. Qi dot is Qi, the dQi by dt. Pi dot is dPi by dt. Okay, so this is Qi dot. Qi dot, a dot actually stands for differentiation with respect to time. Okay, so this shows how Qi is varying with respect to time. This shows how Pi is varying with respect to time. And h, you know, that is a Hamiltonian of the system. Okay, h, which is a function of Pi, and Qi, that is the Hamiltonian of the system. So we know these equations actually come from the classical mechanics. In the classical mechanics, we define a quantity Hamiltonian, and using the Hamiltonian we can show how Qi is changing in time, how Pi is changing in time. Okay, so we have the equation of motion for Qi and Pi. So as time passes, as time is changing, the set of coordinates Qi and Pi actually and continuously changes. So Qi and Pi, the position and momentum coordinates of the individual particles in the system, that continuously change in time. Okay, they cannot remain fixed. And we can say the micro state of the system is continuously changing. So each set of coordinates of Qi and Pi, that actually defines a micro state. But we know this Qi and Pi are continuously changing. So we say the micro state of the system that is continuously changing. So given system in a given macro state, its micro state is continuously changing. You cannot remain in a given micro state. So this change in micro state in the phase space, that can be represented like this. Micro state at a given instant of time is represented by a point which is called phase point or representative point. This phase point that continuously changes. In phase space we can say it is passing through a trajectory. Okay, it is passing through a trajectory because Qi and Pi are continuously changing. This phase point or representative point moves through the phase space like this. Okay, it will be moving like this depending upon the Hamiltonian. Depending upon the Hamiltonian, it will be moving continuously through the phase space. This defines the trajectory. Okay, so it is also the point moves through trajectory which is determined by the velocity. Velocity is Qi dot and Pi dot. Okay, Qi dot and Pi dot, this actually shows the velocity of the phase point, how Qi is changing in time, how Pi is changing in time. The trajectory of the representative point or phase point, that must remain within a limited region of the phase space, because we are considering a system whose macro state is defined through volume, number of particles, and energy varying in a small range, E minus delta by 2 to E plus delta by 2. Okay, so phase volume, the representative point or the phase point, that must remain within a limited region of the phase space, okay, in a very narrow region, that is shown here. This is actually the curve representing energy Hamiltonian equal to E minus delta by 2. So everywhere on this curve, the energy is, the total energy is the Hamiltonian is E minus delta by 2. Hamiltonian is a function of Q and P. So if you calculate the Hamiltonian on this curve, the Hamiltonian will be equal to E minus delta by 2. And on this curve, if you calculate the Hamiltonian using the Q and corresponding Q and P, at any point on this curve, the total energy will be, or the Hamiltonian will be E plus delta by 2. And we know for our systems, the macro state, the energy fluctuates in between E minus delta by 2 and E plus delta by 2. So the phase point or representative point, which is continuously moving through the phase space, that can move only in between these regions. It cannot cross into this region or this region, because here energy, if you calculate the Hamiltonian, the total energy will be greater than E plus delta by 2. Here it will be less than E minus delta by 2. So it can move only in this region. Okay, so the trajectory, the total energy lies in between E plus delta by 2 and E minus delta by 2, and the corresponding trajectory of the representative point, okay, the trajectory of the representative points is restricted to the hypershell. We say this is a hypershell because this is we are considering a 6n dimensional one. So we say this is a hypershell. Hypershell, this region is called the hypershell region. So hypershell defined by this limits E minus delta by 2 and E plus delta by 2.